My partner cheated on me, but I feel like he is getting more support and I am getting more blame. I am 30, have been with my fiancé, am 33, for over 5 years and got engaged earlier this year. We were in an open relationship, but everything had to be approved ahead of time. He went away for a month for work and wanted to hook up with someone. I wasn't super comfortable with it, but he guilted me into agreeing. We set boundaries of what was allowed and what wasn't, and he broke all of those boundaries and lied to me about it, and so I consider that cheating. When he got back, I asked him to cut contact with this person, but he refused, saying they are friends and I cannot control who is he friends with. We agreed to close the relationship and see a therapist. Through talking to the therapist, we uncovered deeper problems and that he did what he did because he was unhappy with certain parts of our relationship. I have been working hard for the past few weeks to try to be a better partner, but I also found out that he has been continuing to talk to the guy this whole time when he agreed to stop while we were in therapy. After I found out, I was really upset and he agreed to cut contact but wasn't happy about it. We had another session with the therapist yesterday, and when he told her I made him cut contact, she said that was a red flag that I made him do it. This comment is what has been bothering me the whole time. To me it was a no-brainer. If he cheated on me, he needs to cut contact with that person if we want to continue the relationship. So the red flag for me was him not agreeing to it and fighting it so hard. I feel like after everything that happened, I'm taking all the blame for not being a good partner to cause him to cheat, and he is receiving more support than me. And I know I need to be better, and I've been trying hard, while he was still talking to them behind my back. And being told that making him cut contact was a red flag really upset me and is making me question whether that was a reasonable thing to want now. I feel like I just want some support and some validation for how I feel, and I have not been able to get that from anyone. TLDR. My partner cheated, but I feel like I am at fault and he is the victim, and I am bad for wanting him to cut contact. Edit. A lot of people have interpreted that the therapist's comment about the red flag was that my partner didn't offer to cut contact on his own. That was not what she meant. She specifically said he shouldn't do something he doesn't want to if he feels I am making him to do it. We have agreed to close our relationship and don't have plans to reopen it. He has willingly agreed to stop contact. Look, they are a crappy therapist. I can't believe they would say that. The fact your partner didn't want to cut contact is a red flag. I would get a new therapist. But really, I think the relationship sounds kind of like it's headed south. I don't know if you guys can really recover from something like this without you both feeling like you are losing something. Your partner doesn't seem to be very empathetic or seem to care about how their actions have affected you. And I don't think they ever will see things your way. Your feelings are valid and you are not the bad guy here for trying to set boundaries. The way your partner went about things was wrong, but I also believe that in some respect your partner is not a bad person either for wanting to be in an open relationship/contact with other people. But you are an established primary partner that is being treated like someone who is not a priority, and that is the biggest issue. If they respected you and valued you, they wouldn't be doing things to jeopardize your trust and overall relationship. And that is the red flag here. That therapist is terrible at their job, and your boyfriend needs to be your ex-boyfriend. Someone who can not only cheat on you but also ignore your request to stop talking to the person they cheated with sucks and doesn't deserve you. You deserve someone that doesn't cheat. I would suggest you get a new therapist. Your husband crossed boundaries and was dishonest, yet your therapist seems to wish to encourage his behavior. I honestly have never heard of a therapist encouraging a couple to remain in contact with the person their spouse had an affair with, ever. Generally, therapists don't condone ultimatums, which, depending of how asking to break off communications was stated, could fall into this bucket. That said, your relationship can only recover if your partner recognizes that what he did was a violation of the terms of your open relationship and that guilting you into something is toxic behavior. If they aren't willing to do this, if they don't see anything wrong with what they did, then it's time to end things, as there will be no path forward. Through talking to the therapist, we uncovered deeper problems and that he did what he did because he was unhappy with certain parts of our relationship. Yeah, no. This man is manipulating you and manipulating your therapist. Cheaters cheat and ignore boundaries because they make a choice too. If they were unhappy in a relationship, they would communicate to make those things better, not lash out, "Oh, woe is me, I can't help it, I'm a victim too, FCK that op." I have been working hard for the past few weeks to try to be a better partner. There's nothing you can possibly do better to make him stop cheating. Your therapist is encouraging you to do the pick-me dance. You absolutely need a new therapist. When he told her I made him cut contact, she said that was a red flag that I made him do it. I'm taking all the blame for not being a good partner to cause him to cheat, and he is receiving more support than me. This therapist has no business being a therapist. You have to drag this guy kicking and screaming to reluctantly agree to stop violating your boundaries, lying to you, and stop communicating with his affair partner. This relationship isn't sustainable because your boyfriend doesn't want to respect your relationship or consider your feelings. Go to r/surviving infidelity, and one of the basic steps would be that if he is cheating, he ceases contact. It probably also means he is moving to a new job. He is doing nothing to rebuild your trust. I do agree with the therapist that in your anger, you are being controlling. You are allowed to set boundaries, but you aren't allowed to control others. Set a boundary that you need in order to be able to sleep at night. Stop pursuing your affair partner as a reasonable boundary. But now that he has crossed it, you have to decide, are you okay with it and will you stick around? Or does he maybe need to move out for a bit while you also go to individual therapy and stop being with someone that doesn't respect you? You definitely need to postpone the wedding, but if I were in your position I would consider canceling it. I actually read her comments in a different way, but I might be wrong. To me it sounds like it's a red flag if you made him cut contact. As in that he didn't agree the relationship was inappropriate and that cutting contact was the best course of action to preserve the relationship and willingly do it on his own. Not blaming you. The red flag isn't you making him, but that you had to make him? If that makes sense. I'd like to say you're in the right and that you should feel confident in your actions, but it smells a little bit like things may be being left out here specifically because of the therapist being bold enough to call you out to your face. This is one of those stories that has two sides, and it's definitely one that we need to hear his side on because it's obviously not cut and dry. I'm also getting the vibe that for you this is about the cheating, but for him it's about something entirely different. Ike man. Edit. I hope things turn out well for you. Being cheated on sucks, and being gaslit sucks even more. Maybe consider going to a therapist on your own?